Hello guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to talk about the tech tree and in particular tier 3. If you haven't watched the other two videos, make sure to check them out before you come into this particular one. But if you have watched it and you want to know what tier 3 is or tier 3 related, you're at the right address because we're going to jump straight into it after the intro. So let's roll the intro. So before we jump into it, I just want to have a quick announcement. If you haven't watched last two parts of it, make sure to check the link down in the description. It will be linked there and also in the cards above here. Also to the playlist, which you want to check out if you want more tutorials. Also, make sure if you love the content I put out to follow me on my other two channels. Will be linked in the description. One is for live streaming purposes and random content, and the other one is mainly for music, in particular copyright free music for all your streaming and YouTube needs. Now we're going for tier 3. So the first tier 3 thing on the list is PSK, also called in-game, tier 3 seekers, and for the OG guys, Proto Seeker or PSK. The guy that wrote my script really hates it. I'll read what he says. It has the lowest damage per energy, DPS. It eats up your energy much faster than tier 0 SMG. It's designed to be bad. Enough said. I love it. I kind of do agree on it. But then again, it's a noob friendly weapon because it doesn't require skill to aim it. You have an area to aim in and then it locks onto the target. So if you have shit aim, I would recommend it. But if you have some decent aim or actually know how to hit it, SMGs are the better option. Or any weapon is a better option. Even Tesla. I agree with the guy who wrote the script. But then again, if you have shit aim, it's worth taking a look at. But if you have decent aim, which I mean with decent is like your aim doesn't go like these, but it stays like in the general area of the enemy, then you don't really need to invest in it. There are way better options for you out there. But similar to your tier 2 blocks, having a lot of these is bad for your ranking, your robo ranking. It's hardcore size beats. It's so hard to build with. Like in an art perspective, you can do some pretty cool stuff with it. I know. But to build an actual viable bot, no, don't use them. You wanna go to Rot. They're better. They're better. Tier 3 Rotors, tier 3 Rotors, and tier 3 Wings. So let's start with the Rotors, which are the copter blade things, you know. The tier 3 one is a higher carry mass, so that means you could build a heavier copter. And you can fill out with more kinds of build designs, etc. And it's just to invest in. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Rotors, I mean, but maybe you are, so you have to, if you really want to, it's worth checking out. Tier 3 Rotors and Wings. I kind of said enough of those already. I love those things. It's literally my go-to thing when I use tier 3 sprinters, because they have 2 connection points. They do have a lot of robo ranking. Best of all, they're not really that shit. You could actually use them. They're viable, like you see on screen. Like I think it was an older video. I kind of tweaked my bot around already, but it goes with the principle of 3 tier 3 sprinter legs, 6 wings of tier 3, and 3 tier 3 rudders. And you can just stay in the air and hover with railguns. It's quite good to invest in the tier 3 rudders and tier 3 wings. I would very much recommend it, especially if you want to go with a sprinter hybrid combo and a railgun. Really worth investing in. Tier 3 sprinters. Like, nobody is surprised how much I love these things. Or sprinters max in general, I love them a lot. But they're, in this case, the tier 3 sprinters, that's what we're going to talk about. Sprinters are strange in so many ways, but the main reason is It sits between a slow Mac and a hover. It has the speed of a hover, but hovers have low carry mass. So that means they're as fast as a hover, but they have more carry mass. So using heavy cubes isn't so bad. Only wouldn't recommend it if you want to build a hybrid, which I probably have on the background or had on the background gameplay. Then you don't want to use heavy cubes. They do have an awkwardly large size hitbox, and it's a bit in the middle when it comes to health per CPU. But you can't spam them, which also means that's also due to the fact they cost a lot of CPU, and it gives you more robo ranking, which of course you want to try to avoid. Spamming too much of these, you will just get into tier 4, and we want to stay in tier 3. You have a lot of good tier 3 bots out there, which I'll probably cover in the next video. If you guys want me to cover a CRF based video, let me know. But the main thing you want to use these types of bots for, as you see in the background gameplay or saw in the background gameplay, railgun. Railguns are so insanely good on sprinters. It's just because of the speed, stability, etc. It's just the perfect mount for railgun, or moving part for a railgun. And if you want to take it to the next level, you want to build a hybrid when it comes to a hover or flyer, which I have. You could use it with SMGs, but in my experience it's less good. But if you have good aim like me, a railgun, yeah, he'll be dominating the battlefield. Tier 3 blades. You finally get a blade that covers a decent amount of serves on your bot, making it worthwhile to use, in the words of my script writing. However, I still don't like them personally, but if you do like the look of it and you want to use them, from tier 3 they actually get viable. I just hate the looks of it personally. But that is up to you guys to use them or not. I kind of think there are better ways to make your bot stronger, but they're actually decent and might want to check them out. But don't unlock them first though. There are other things you can better unlock first. But if you have the spare CPU, you can unlock them. Let's talk briefly about the tier 3 module. Unlock them all. They're all very viable and good. I will, however, make a separate video on these modules, but the ones that I personally use a lot is the blink module and the power module. And I will go in depth in another video what they do, how it looks like. It will probably be the next video. So keep up to that. So you have a couple modules to invest in. An EMP one, power module, blink module, ghost module, and a radar thing. So we will go in depth with these, like CPU usage and health, etc. in a separate video, because it's a very big topic. It really does depend on how you use it, but the one I use a lot is power module. I basically have a power module or 2 power modules in every bot. So we'll cover that in another video. It's really worth investing in if you're tier 3. Tier 3 Teslas. Do I really need to cover this again? I have a pure hate for Teslas. I'm sorry. I just think they're garbage. Because it all depends on melee, and I would not invest a single tech point in Tesla. It's not worth it at all. The only way it's worth it is if you have unlocked every other thing and you have points to spare. Then I would say unlock Teslas and try them out. Other than that, don't. They're point 1, very hard to build decent Teslas. They eat up robo rank. And you need to be able to play with them, which is a challenge in itself. So don't waste it on Teslas. I beg you.